Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to what's been happening in the NFL lately, you already know that the NFC East has been a hotbed of action and surprises. The Washington Commanders, a team with a rich history and a passionate fan base, are once again at a pivotal crossroads this season. And the latest move, or rather the potential move, is something that could shake up the division and maybe even the entire league. Yes, I'm talking about the recent developments surrounding their running game, especially after that tough loss to the Green Bay Packers in Week 2. That Thursday night football game was a real eye-opener. The Commanders went up against a Packers team that's been rebuilding and finding their footing, but what we saw on the field was a defense that was absolutely dominant. Micah Parsons and the rest of Green Bay's front seven had the Commanders' offense completely bottled up. It wasn't just about stopping the run. It was about making life miserable for Jayden Daniels, who struggled throughout the game. Outside of some garbage time moments, Daniels was under constant pressure, and his ability to move the ball on the ground was virtually non-existent. The Packers' front was filling all the gaps, making it impossible for Austin Ekeler and Bill Krosky-Merritt to find any room to run or catch passes out of the backfield. It was a textbook example of a defense suffocating an offense, and honestly, it showed how much work the Commanders need to do if they want to be serious contenders this season. But things got even more concerning for Washington as the game wore on. In a late-game push, Austin Ekeler, who has been a key piece of this team's offense, was injured. And it wasn't just a minor tweak. It was a serious non-contact injury that led to an Achilles tear, which is expected to be season-ending. Now, for those of you who follow NFL injuries, you know how devastating an Achilles tear can be for a running back, especially someone like Ekeler who's been a reliable pass protector and a versatile weapon out of the backfield. His loss leaves a massive hole in the Commanders' offensive plans, one that can't be simply filled by someone already on the roster, no matter how talented they are. This injury is a blow not just for this season, but could have ripple effects for the team's offensive identity moving forward. And here lies the big question. What can Washington do now? How do they replace a player like Ekeler? Well, that's where the latest rumors and speculations come into play. And folks, this is where it gets really interesting. Because, according to reports, the Commanders are eyeing a move for a player who could be exactly what they need right now. And I'm talking about none other than Rachaad White, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back. If you've been following White's career, you know he's been a solid contributor, especially in his early years. In 2023 and 2024, he managed to rack up over 1,000 yards from scrimmage in each season, showing that he's got the ability to produce both on the ground and through the air. Now, here's the catch. White has fallen out of favor in Tampa Bay lately. Last season, he was the primary back early on, but as the season progressed, Bucky Irving started to take over as the team's main ball carrier. In their opener against the Atlanta Falcons, White only played about 25% of the snaps, while Irving was on the field nearly 77%. That's a clear sign that the coaching staff prefers Irving as their workhorse, leaving White somewhat on the sidelines. But what White does best is his pass-catching ability, which is exactly what Washington needs right now. The Commanders have been trying to develop Krosky-Merritt as a versatile weapon, but adding a proven pass catcher like White could be the missing piece to their offense. Think about it. White's skill set fits perfectly into Washington's offensive scheme. He can catch passes out of the backfield, create mismatches against linebackers and safeties, and provide that extra dimension that the Commanders need to keep their offense dynamic. And let's not forget, Washington's offensive line has been improving, and with a reliable back like White, they could really open up the playbook and keep defenses honest. On the other side, Tampa Bay isn't necessarily in a bind with White's departure. Bucs have Irving, who has demonstrated he can carry the load. Irving has played a true bell cow role before and has the versatility to handle both rushing and receiving duties. Plus, they have Sean Tucker, a talented third stringer who's been getting praise from the coaching staff and could step in to spell Irving and keep him fresh. So Tampa Bay could afford to part ways with White if the right offer comes along. An early draft capital, say, a day 3 pick, should be enough to persuade them. Now, this is a trade that makes a lot of sense for both teams. Tampa gets a draft pick, which they can use to build for the future, while Washington gets a player who can immediately help fill the void left by Eckler's injury. It's a move that could have ripple effects not just for this season, but for the NFC East as a whole. The Commanders have been building something special under head coach Ron Rivera, and adding a versatile back like White could be the catalyst that pushes them over the edge to compete with the best in the conference. Let's talk a bit more about the current state of the Commanders. After that tough loss to Green Bay, there's a lot of questions about their offensive identity. Jayden Daniels, who's still relatively new to the NFL, showed flashes of potential but also struggled to execute consistently against a tough defense. His running ability is a weapon, but without the support of a reliable running game, it's hard to sustain drives. The injury to Eckler only amplifies this issue. Washington's coaching staff needs to adapt quickly, and acquiring a player like White could be the answer. His ability to catch passes and gain yards after the catch could help open up the offense, especially when the offensive line is giving Daniels a bit more time to throw. And speaking of the season's outlook, it's worth noting that the NFC East is more competitive than ever. The Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants have all made moves to strengthen their rosters, and the Commanders can't afford to fall behind. This division has become a battle of attrition, with each team fighting for playoff positioning and, ultimately, a shot at the Super Bowl. Washington's window to make a push is still open, but they need to be strategic and aggressive. If acquiring Rachaad White can give them that extra edge, it's an investment worth making. Now, let's not forget the importance of the fan base here. Washington fans are passionate, loyal, and hungry for success. They've seen their team go through ups and downs over the years, and right now, they're eager to see their team compete at the highest level. The potential addition of White is exciting because it shows that the front office is serious about contending. It's a move that signals they're not just looking to get by this season, but are aiming for something bigger, something that can reignite the franchise's winning tradition. As we look ahead, the NFL trade deadline is approaching, and this kind of move could be exactly what both teams need. Washington adding a versatile weapon to their backfield, and Tampa Bay clearing cap space and draft capital for the future. The negotiations are likely already underway, and it will be fascinating to see how this unfolds. If the deal goes through, it could be the spark that propels Washington into serious playoff contention, especially if White can quickly adapt to their system and provide that reliable pass-catching threat out of the backfield. So, what does this mean for the rest of the season? Well, for Washington, it's about resilience and making the most of what they have. Daniels is still developing as a quarterback, but with the right pieces around him, especially a reliable running back like White, the offense could start clicking. The defense, led by players like Micah Parsons, can only do so much. They need the offense to be consistent and explosive. Adding White could be that missing piece, someone who can turn a screen pass into a big gain or break a tackle and extend drives. And let's not forget the division. The NFC East has always been known for its tough, gritty football, and this season is no different. The Eagles are still a powerhouse, the Cowboys have a stout defense and a balanced attack, and the Giants are looking to climb back into the playoff picture. For Washington, making a strategic move like acquiring White could give them the extra push they need to not only stay competitive, but to take the division if everything falls into place. It's all about seizing opportunities, and right now, the Commanders have a chance to make a bold statement. As we wrap up, I want to emphasize that this isn't just about a trade or a player signing. It's about a team that's hungry to prove itself, to climb back to the top of the NFL landscape, and to bring playoff football back to DC. The fans deserve that energy, that excitement, and that hope. Washington has the talent, the coaching staff, and now, potentially, the new piece that could make all the difference. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the team. Do you believe that acquiring Rachaad White could be the spark Washington needs to make a deep playoff run? Or do you think there are other areas they should focus on? Whatever your opinion, make sure to share it. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more news, and more deep dives into the Washington Commanders' journey this season. Stay tuned and keep that passion alive, because the best is yet to come for your team.